Hello, I'm going to do my best to show you on this twisted stitch brioche pattern how I do the setup row. And this is the row 8 right before the row that you're going to do your twist cables on. Okay, so in order for you to move a stitch from here all the way over to here, sorry if I'm blocking it, from one peg, skip a peg all the way to here, you're going to have some slack, because unlike needle knitters who can just slide their needles together, we cannot do that. So we need to leave a little slack. Now this will give you an elongated stitch up here, and it is known in loom knitting that often we do have a lengthier loopiness to our cables, and that's okay. This is just part of loom knitting. Okay, so the way I do it on the light side row, which would be your light color, is now we do a skip 1, which would be peg 1 right here. And then this would be the one we would knit. But instead of just doing the U-knit and pulling the stitch over, what we're going to do is we are going to E-wrap it twice. 1, 2. And then pull your bottom loops over top of those 2 E-wraps. Okay, that's how you do that. So once again, you skip your stitch just like you did in all the rows before, but instead of just knitting this stitch over this stitch, we are going to E-wrap it 1, 2 times. We're going to continue doing that all the way around the loom. And then I'll be back to show you how to do your dark side or dark row. Okay, I'm back. Now I've done the light side, which was all my knits. Now I'm on the dark side, which will be my pearls. And I'm going to show you how you do this row, because although the actual stitches you're purling will not be moved, you know, crossing any other stitches, you will actually have that stitch as a skip stitch on your knitting pegs or the pegs that will be twisted. So let me show you how you do that. All right, now obviously on the dark row, you've done this all the same way each row, and we're still in row 8. Because remember, it takes 2 rows to create 1 row in brioche. All right, so we would, just like usual, purl our first peg. Sorry if I struggle a little here. My arms are way in front of me, so this really isn't that hard. It's just I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera so it can look like we're struggling, but we're not. All right, this is my skip peg. But instead of just skipping it, I'm going to E-wrap that one twice. That's actually how I'm skipping it. Then I'm going to go to the next peg and I'm going to purl it. Then I'm going to go where my skip peg is, and I'm going to E-wrap that twice again. Then purl. And I'm going to keep going around the loom like this, where I purl, I skip the peg, sorry if it's getting out of view, skip the peg, the second peg, by double E-wrapping it. Then I purl, double E-wrap, purl. And then when I go to take these off to do my twist row, which I will show you next, you will have the slack that you need to get this these stitches here and these stitches there. Okay, thank you. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We've completed both the light side and the dark side of row 8. And now we are doing the twist row, where you actually make the cables. Now first they twist right, meaning they're going right that way. And next, right now, I'm on a left twist row. So my cable is going to be going this way, to the left. Okay, so I'm not going to get much into how to do the right and the left twist. I do have a video on that if you need to brush up. But if you're doing this pattern, you should be a strong intermediate to advanced. This is obviously a little bit more complex. So by now you should know how to do right and left twist cables, but I will show you how they're achieved on this particular because of the twist being longer, meaning you're skipping a peg between the two crossovers. Okay, so we're on a light side row, so your first stitch would, as always, be slipped or skipped. So this is where our twist, these 3 pegs are where the twist is going to take place. So what we're going to do is on peg 2, we are going to take off the E-wraps. And I might have to actually pick the loom up and take it out of your view to get them completely off. Now I got it off. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So now I'm going to untwist the 2 E-wraps. And you see how long they are? And I'm going to stick them on a cable needle because I'm a safety girl and I don't want to accidentally lose them if I pull too hard. This is the stitch that will not be, this is peg 2, will not be twisted. But we need to put it behind the twist so that we can see the cable. We don't want it interfering on the outside of your knitting. So this stitch we're just going to put onto a cable needle, stitch holder, whichever, safety pin, anything you got to hold it. Okay, so we're doing a left twist. So we always want to take the stitch that's going to go left and put it on the peg first, because that way it will be in front. So again, we're going to completely take these off. And they should be loose enough. Sometimes you have to take them off one at a time. That's normal. Depends how tightly you did your E-wraps. Okay, now we want to make sure that they're completely untwisted. And then we want to put them back on peg 2 the same way. Can you see that? The same way we took them off of the peg and just put them on. Okay, our first crossover has been completed. The stitches from peg 3 have gone to peg 1. And the peg 1 doesn't mean the peg 1 in the row. It means the peg 1 of the 3 pegs that are involved in this twist or cable. All right, now the stitches that were on the original, oops, don't let them come off, on the original peg 1, soon they're going to tighten up, are now going to cross over and go on peg 3. So the stitches from peg 1 are now on peg 3. These stitches are behind those stitches, so the left leaning stitch is the visible stitch. Then we're going to take the middle stitch that we did not cross or twist and just put it right back on the peg. Now the actual twist work is complete. So again, this one was skipped, and just skip it like you normally do. Just lay the yarn across it Then I'm going to unit, skip, unit. Left twist complete. We're going to skip this, and then we'll do the exact same thing on the 3 after the skip. It's pretty easy to tell because on any of the stitches that you're twisting, you will have double E wraps. You're going to have 4 wraps on it. So it's you shouldn't even need stitch markers because in brioche, it tells you what to do. So these have 4 wraps, this has 4 wraps, these are the ones that are crossing. So if you need to, on each stitch, rewind this video and then redo your twist. But that's how it's done. And oh, let me just give you a quick peek at what the inside of your knitting should look like. It should be completely reversible, just as in all brioche. I had a hard time getting this to be reversible. It was loopy in the back. This method stops the loopiness. And like I said, the only thing you'll have is an elongated stitch across where the twist was made. You can get it, if you see here, it's tight right there. But up here, it's not with this method. But I can do it, but because these are nylon, they will bend in. But you risk breaking them, and you also risk damage to your wrists. I no longer do that. My wrists were hurting really bad, so I don't recommend it. The fiber arts aren't worth surgery, and as much as I knit, it still looks beautiful. It makes a gorgeous, gorgeous ridge going across here. I love it. And so, you know, like I said, these elongated cables are kind of part of loom knitting, and they're part of the beauty of loom knitting and what makes it different. Okay, have a great day. Bye.